Hey, this is Daphne here with the Transplanted Podcast. Just wanted to give an update. We have been catching up on episodes. Things are becoming more normalized. We are actually booked out through June into July at this point, and we are some of the weeks we are even double booked. So things are coming, growing with this podcast. We appreciate everything that our listener, the time that you have spent here with us and given us. If you are able to help build the podcast, we would love that. You can help support us at buymeacoffee.com/transplanting podcast. If you would like to be on the podcast, you can reach out to me, Daphne, at transplantedpodcast.com. That's the best place to reach me. And we just wanted to say thank you again. We have been growing. We're now 36 countries that we're listened to, and this thing is just steadily growing, and we are just loving what we do, but we want to be able to bring more to you. So it was just a quick update. A couple days ago was Trans Day of Visibility. We are trying to bring more media towards you so that there is more visibility, whether that is just through more social media interactions or more episodes or shorts and reels. We're just trying to make sure that we can do the best for you. So please hang in there with us while we get this going and keep it growing, and be sure to share our podcast. That helps a lot. We have some big names and experts that are coming on the podcast here in the future. We're excited to have them. We've had some exciting ones. So, this is growing, and we just want to say thank you. And welcome to our family. Do it.
Welcome back to the Transplanting Podcast. My name is Bear, of course, joined by the lovely Daphne. We got a doozy for you.
We do. There's a doozy and a don't see, and today we're doozying.
We're doozying.
We're doozying. Okay, so today we have. Well, I just surprise today. I'm sorry, so sorry. Maybe I am all over the place today, and sorry for anybody listening. I'm all over the freaking place. Okay, so today we have our guest, Maybe, and just gorgeous as ever. We're just so excited to have you here. And one of the things that, speaking of which, Bear, you forgot I had cherry earrings. Anyway, so
she has cherry earrings.
I have cherry. Yes, we talk about earrings every episode. Anyway, so we have Maybe here with us, and Maybe has a TikTok channel where she's supporting the trans community in a lot of different ways. And I fell in love with the channel, and I'm just going to be honest here right now, Maybe I absolutely fell in love with your laugh. And it makes me, yeah, right?
There it is.
Okay, but here's the thing. Is I laugh like that several times too. And so you're not the only one that does it. And so I fell in love with your laugh. I was just so excited. It just brings so much joy, and it's so infectious. And I was just like, oh my God, I want her to come on the podcast so much. And I just want to just be able to just share the laughs and giggles, but also let's go over your TikTok channel. Let's talk about the work that you're doing and just have a lot of fun. Also, I'm trying to get this stuff released in time, but this is being recorded right before Valentine's Day. So we're going to, and today's episode doesn't necessarily have to be everything Valentine's. No. But we were hoping to get this episode in so that for any of our trans girlies out there, or any, it doesn't matter. Anybody that wants to, help get ready, we have just the best stylist here with us today to sit here and just walk us through everything about this. And I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, Maybe.
Thank you. I appreciate all that.
Oh, I am all... What did I do? Bear, what did I do?
You went back to the tab.
I picked... Oh, my God.
Uh-oh.
Bear, I don't know what I did.
That's okay.
Is that what I did? Okay. You know what? Here, Bear, we're just gonna keep going like this. Okay. I know what I did. No. It doesn't matter. The point is This is maybe we're excited to have you. So when I go and look here at your TikTok channel, I am seeing a lot of different. I mean, first off, you just have an incredible following. 83,000 followers, and 2.7 million likes, and that's just nothing to be scoffed at. Like, you are just crushing it here in the social media world, if that's the right thing to say. I don't know. I just think that's really impressive to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, you had something similar like that before, Bear.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Not anymore, but you did.
But
you did at one point. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, like it's not just like it takes a lot of work to be able to get something like that. How long have you been doing this for?
I mean, it's an interesting, because like I do a lot of things for work. I do a lot of things professionally. And so I've always been something of a public figure. I'm also an actor.
Right.
So that's been most of my career. In terms of social media, I really started like pushing into it in like 2017. So going on like 9 years now. But I had no idea what I was doing until recently. And like the follower count you're seeing, a lot of my accounts blew up in 2020 when everybody was on social media all the time. There wasn't much else to do. And so I gained a lot of followers. I started TikTok, honestly, because theaters were closed and I was living in New York City and it was my creative outlet. And then the 2020 election rolled around and I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And then I started getting followers through that. I wasn't like trying to build that following.
Yeah.
And actually, since I've started trying to build it, it has plateaued.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
That's transphobia for you.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, you were going to ask something?
What?
You were going to ask something?
Oh,
I heard you build into it.
she started talking first.
Oh, I started talking then, but I heard you.
Okay.
He was just shocked in his sight. The crowd was amazed. Amazed, like the corn. Yeah, so you, actually, can we just take a back step a little bit? Can we just hear some of your story your story in general, whatever it is you want to share about that, but then let's eventually lead that up into the TikTok channel?
Goodness. I mean, which story? I
was born on a typical Tuesday.
right.
Back in the wee hours of the morning. It was pouring rain. Nobody expected
Long Island and growing up. I mean, I am a theater girly by trade. I went to school for theater. I originally went to school for psychology, but actually learned how cis heteronormative that whole field is and got really frustrated in my classes. And so I transferred to study theater instead. And I've worked as an actor, I've worked as a director, I've worked as a sex educator, I've worked like every weird odd job you can do in New York City. And through my whole life, through my career, has really centered stories for and about trans people and queer people.
Right.
And making sure that representation is like authentic and accurate, and making sure that like our stories are prioritized. And so today I still do a lot of the things that I do, but I'm primarily writing and consulting and speaking when I can. I say primarily, even though this year the government has made it hard for me to do a lot of the speaking gigs I usually do.
Yeah.
Which is also hand in hand with my social media platforms plateauing and no longer getting they once got. But yeah, I was saying I got on TikTok as a creative outlet because theater shut down and I was primarily acting at the time. And it's been a fascinating little world on there. And I did gain a lot of followers in 2020.
Yeah.
TikTok was paying me like a stipend to make educational content. And I just made a video about this, like the irony that now I can't get most of my videos to be seen by 1,000 people. And yet TikTok 5-6 years ago was paying me to make the same kind of content I make now.
Wow. That's it. I mean, it's interesting, right? And I'm noticing that, like, when I go here to your website, you have just so much different material on here. Like you said, there was the talking and webinars. We know that you do the TikTok channel. And then as I scroll down, there's a TEDx talk. I mean, there is a blog. Yes, there's the blog. Makeup for lost time. That's like one of my favorite things. Merch. Gotta love the merch.
I love orgasms.
You do.
Like, I'm reading the screen. I'm not saying that out loud.
Yeah, that's the book I co-wrote.
That, by the way, is going to go into our thing. Just bear. I love orgasm.
I can't win.
I got you to go red on that one. I did. I
love
got you.
orgasm.
I totally got it that time. I'm so proud of myself right now. I got you to blush. I got you to blush. Yeah. So I mean, just there's so much areas that you have your hands in, and you're just being this. I'm going to say that I'm going to assume anyway that a lot of this work extends beyond trans people, but that is just acting in general, probably consulting in specific areas, but not necessarily consulting about trans people. Would that sound correct?
Yeah, I like to say that like gender affirming practices actually benefit all of us. And
yes,
while my work centers gender affirming practices, that obviously centers trans and non-binary folks.
Yeah.
But I've had so many cisgender people in my trainings or just like reaching out to me in my DMs, noting that like just learning about gender in the ways that we talk about it helped them understand themselves in new ways. Or like if they have a marginalized identity as well, they've learned a lot about how I talk about all of those things and like power structures and everything. My work, it's unfortunate. I've kind of been pigeonholed into being like the trans consultant.
Right.
But my work is really just about like people and making sure that people feel like they belong and are like supported and uplifted. And that, I mean, we should be centering the most marginalized in that conversation. So understandably, that's my little niche of it. But really, I'm just here for people.
Yeah. We're going through your website like while we're listening to you talk here. You just are so clever in the things that you have down. The lowdown about pronouns and the binary.
My branding.
Yeah, like you're doing so good with this stuff. What was the other one? Makeup. What's the one you have about makeup?
Makeup for lost time.
Makeup for lost time. Yeah. I mean, you're so clever in the puns, but being able to deliver what you're looking for. And I mean, looking on
Makeup
here.
for lost time is actually from a follower. I made a video about that. I wanted to start doing tutorials.
Yeah.
And my followers, I got a comment that was like, "It sounds like you're just trying to make up for lost time." And I was like,
I love it. Makeup. For the record, I do the little owls all the time. Poor Bear has to put up with it.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your sound levels. Of me squawking.
I have it all taken care of on this end. You don't have to worry about that. But when I'm sitting here looking at your clients, I mean, these are big clients. You know, we're talking, I was about to say Milken University, but that's Bear's area. We're talking Millikan University on here. We got, Rockefeller University. Thank God it's Friday fund. It's the theater development fund, but New York University, Plume, what is that? American Music Abroad. I mean, there's and then the one that sticks out to me though, intimacy directors and coordinators, and I find that to be a fascinating one. What's your favorite part about doing all of this stuff?
Honestly, a lot of people ask me a lot of the time how I do it because it's emotionally exhausting work and like how I get through a lot of the work that I do. And my answer is that it fills me up. like anytime that I can solve something, anytime
Yeah.
I can like make somebody's day a little better in a little way, it's a win for me, and it does genuinely like help me with my life and go on my
Yes.
day.
Yes.
So like my favorite part of it is just those like little changes that I can make for people's lives. Little nudges. I just had a conversation today with a client where we just had to like get somebody's pronouns changed in a system, and it was like such an easy fix that they were waiting for it to go through, and I just like I got involved, and within 5 minutes it was changed over, and that person's day got so much better, you know, like
Right.
just those little things. There's a quote from my favorite musical that says, "You can change the world by changing someone." And that's what I try to do
Which
with my
musical?
work. Brooklyn, the musical.
Nice.
And that's all I'm trying to do. And every time I get to make one of those changes, it changes the world.
So, I mean, you mentioned musical, and you've talked about being an actor and being able to consult in some of this kind of stuff. Is musicals the acting that you prefer to do, or is it other like what are you acting with? What are you doing in that hemisphere?
Yeah, I mean, so on that list that you're looking at is actually the musical and Juliet. I'm the gender and belonging partner for their Broadway and national tour companies. I
Yes,
actually have their right behind me too, because I first did an influencer gig for them.
I noticed the Hershey's bar.
And I had under the Hershey's bar is Juliet.
Yeah,
These are all the like PR that makeup brands have sent me, but I also did a makeup video for them before I was working with them.
nice.
And so I'm their gender and belonging partner. It's basically like an HR position where I'm making sure that gender affirming practices are respected and prioritized. And then as an actor, I really loved working on like TV. I grew up in theater, and like theater was most of my work, but when I was working on TV shows, it was I mean, TV actors get treated a lot better than theater actors.
Fair.
Things a lot better. I make a comparison. I was like a lead in a show off Broadway for a couple of months, and our dressing rooms were like in this back room. They put like dividing screens up. Like it was like kind of a janky theater. And then I went and did a TV show around the same time, and it was snowing one day during a shooting. And literally, I had one line on this show.
Yeah.
And while it's snowing, a PA was holding an umbrella over me for me so that like my costumes wouldn't get wet and stuff. Like it's like really for the production.
Wait, what was like, the movie?
It was a TV show that it's actually a TV show that I didn't end up on because they cut me. But
way to call that out, Daphne.
No, that's actually also just like the reality of working as an actor is that when you're playing those like co-star bit roles, sometimes just in the editing room you end up chopped out. But just the way that like I was a character that could be cut out of that show, and also I was being treated like a princess on set because they needed my costume to not get wet and everything, like they needed all like that. Right. But just the amount of time and space there is on TV and like working on film is such a different monster. And when I was doing it, I was also really new to it and didn't really know what was going on a ton of the time.
Okay.
But I would love to get back in those spaces, actually.
What kind of roles do you shoot for? Or, like, is there a particular role that you like to audition for? Or are you open to anything? Or is that a loaded question?
I mean, it is a loaded question. It's also right now, I mean, I was just quoted in an article on The Cut about the fact that there are so few opportunities right now. And, like, Laverne Cox talking about, like, auditions are not what they used to be, especially for trans women.
Yes.
So at this point, I'm auditioning for whatever my manager sends me, which is not very frequent. But like my ideal situation is just being like some like girl next door on some random like sitcom-y kind, like give me like Kimmy Gibbler on Full House and I'm good to go, you know? Like I think a thing that I was really trying to do while acting was kind of my primary source of income work that I was doing. I really wanted to play characters that didn't have to be trans, that I just like happened to be a trans woman in the role.
Yeah, that fits you in what, yeah.
Yeah, because on a lot of shows, in theater and TV, I've been called in for a role that is like specified to be like the trans woman, but then I'll like look at the breakdown and I'm like, oh, but there's actually this other role that I think I'd be really good for.
Yeah.
But they haven't decided she's trans, so they won't see me for that. But that's actually who I am. You know, like that's actually what resonates with me. So
yeah, well, like I'm over here looking at your website, right? And it shows it shows. Let me see if I can let the audience see this, right? I mean, we're seeing you in a lot of different positions. Here's one looks like you're in a bar and you got the you're talking to maybe a native person.
Oh, on Rami, yeah.
On which one?
Rami on Hulu.
What? I feel like I've seen that, or I'm trying to think, but like that scene that I'm seeing there, whatever. I feel like I've seen that scene before, and so I'm trying. It's been driving me nuts because like I'm seeing this and I go, oh my god, I think I've seen this. Yeah.
Have you watched Rami on Hulu?
I don't know. I'd have to go look at the logo for it, but maybe. How do you spell it?
Rami, Ramy.
R-A-M-Y.
The woman you're looking at she plays his mother.
Ramy. Yes. I have seen. Let me see here. How do I?
Oh, there you go.
Let me see. Oh, it's way over there. I'm not going to be able to. Wait, ready? Oh no, other way. Ah, this is so hard to do. You know what? Anyway, Ramy, Ramy. That's what it is. But I mean, I'm seeing all these scenes. I mean, you're on Netflix, Hulu, whatever. I mean, that's really cool. That's not something that everybody can say that you got it. You know, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's within the course of, I think it was 18 months. It was like a year and a half. I did 4 TV shows.
Wow.
Which all of them were like one episode, like side characters. Rami is actually the only guest star I did where the title of that episode is actually they, and it's a non-binary character. And at the time I was using they, them pronouns as well. So I was pretty central in that storyline. But I was pretty, I say lucky, other people say it wasn't luck, it was hard work and talent.
You're just skilled.
But it's also just like what the industry is looking for. I also looked quite different at the time. I was identifying quite differently. Like I don't think I would have auditioned for Sophia on Rami right now. Because they were using they them pronouns and I no longer am, even though I do identify as non-binary. Like there's a lot to my identity. But I don't know if I would have gotten called in. I don't know if they would have seen me for that role now. I also don't know if that role would exist on TV right now because we've seen the opportunities and the amount of characters for trans people significantly decreasing this year and over the past few years. GLAAD released a study last year that I think like half of the LGBTQ characters on TV are no longer not coming back. And that was already a low number.
But Grindr views are up. So,
oh my god!
I mean,
well,
I don't know what to say.
Don't worry, I do numbers there too. Don't worry.
Wait, say that again.
I said I do numbers there too. Don't worry.
Well, I'm gonna compliment real quick that looking at these clips, you look really comfortable. You look super comfortable, and there's no awkwardness. Like you're just like, yep, this is me, and this is my role, and you just handle it. You look so super comfortable.
It reminds me of like the trans person on Baby Reindeer. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. There's anyway. It just well, it was a really sweet scene. Have you seen Baby Reindeer?
Of course, I have not.
You have not. How about you? Have you seen it? Maybe.
I was told I'm not allowed to.
That's fair.
Aw.
It kind of hurt. It's okay. So here's the thing: the rest of the show I don't give a damn about, right? But in like the first episode or two, the guy finds meets a trans person. I think it was in a bar, maybe on a show. I don't know. Anyway, he meets this trans person and he falls in love with her, and it's just so great. But the whole show, the guy has like this lady that's a stalker, and like she gets increasingly crazy in the stalker role, and he's like trying to like run away from it, but then like as he goes he gets more feelings, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. And so after a few episodes I quit watching, but the episodes with the girl were just the most sweet. I loved it, right? He like the way he treated her, it was just phenomenal, and it was beautiful. And then everything was going kind of crazy, so he decided he was going to go ahead and move on, and not because he wanted to, but he felt like he had to. But like that scene where he kind of told her how he felt and everything, and then like the subway stops at the station, and when the subway stops, doors open, he's sitting there standing there with her, and right before the doors closed, he stepped off the train, and the subway took off. But she's just standing there like watching him as it goes away, and it like breaks your heart, and you just start crying. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I don't know. I watched just for that part, and then after that, I don't care about the rest of the show. I discovered it through TikTok also. I discover a lot of stuff on TikTok.
I was going to say, is that the TikTok sound that's like, I met this trans woman and she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, or whatever? I think there's a sound that's from that. Yeah.
Yes.
I've used that sound at least.
Yes, I can turn around and send you the thing for it. It was beautiful, and then the rest of it doesn't matter. Just the beautiful part is there. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'll just share the beauty, and then we'll call it good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you got into acting. You did a TED Talk. How do you even come around doing a TED Talk? They just come around. They're like, "Hey, you look great. Let's do this." Like, how does that happen?
No, you submit for those. I auditioned.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You
cool.
Yeah, you
Well,
can
now
go
I need to
through
go
their
audition.
website. You can go through their website and find local TEDx's near you. And I applied to a couple of ones nearby.
Now I really want to do that.
You should.
I should.
You totally should. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like so much fun. Yeah. I mean, this is
So cool.
what was that experience like going on and doing a TED Talk?
It's a TEDx talk. There's
TEDx.
a difference between TED and TEDx.
Oh, what's the
And I think
difference?
legally I have to say it's TEDx.
Fair.
The difference is just TEDx's are like independently run.
Oh.
Like TED Talks are like produced by the company. TEDx's are like affiliates.
Fascinating.
It was, I mean, my career is public speaking at this point. So for me, it was kind of just another gig. I don't want to sound like I'm like, I don't care about my TED Talk, but it's, I mean, Bear was saying, like, I do seem very comfortable. I've been a performer my entire life. Like,
Yes.
it was kind of just like my brothers and my best friend were there, and I was just like, hey, I'm going to talk about gender for 10 minutes. That's kind of the shortest amount of time that I've talked about gender in a while. So
Do you ever, get nervous or get the stage fright, or are you just naturally okay and comfortable?
I mean, you're an actress, so I mean, that's
yeah, I'm
I
trying.
don't know.
I mean, there are actors who get stage fright. Like, there are actors who do get nervous.
I mean, I haven't met any actress or actor, whatever, that doesn't care about putting themselves out there, though. Like, they're very just big.
Right. There's people who have different processes and things. I think I've done enough work on myself that I know nothing's gonna happen. Like, what's the worst thing that happens?
They say no, and you move on.
Other than like an active shooter walking in and I die. Like, there's not a ton that can happen right now.
Isn't it wild that
That's gonna-
that's a thing, though?
It's like the
I
number
mean,
one.
that unfortunately, like, that's what makes me nervous when I'm doing gigs. That's
Right.
what I'm not thinking about it in the moment, but like, if I was to get nervous, it would be thinking about that. In terms of like, you can put me on a stage right now and tell me I have an hour and tell me the topic, and I'll go.
Okay.
That's
Unicorns.
just how I'm built at this
Wow.
point. What did you say?
Cool.
Unicorns. Here we go. We're gonna test this.
A fictional character or like a third in a relationship? Which one do you want?
We're gonna go. Well, I was gonna just start running with this, but then Bear,
Did I break there?
Bear took.
You broke the bear.
We're Broke Bear Mountain.
Don't say bear.
Not the
back
first time
again.
I've broken a bear, but
We did all. I'm blushing all over again.
For the record, we have not been able to get him to do this on. I might have got a blush one time, but it's rare to get this, and so for us to turn around and
I'm
get it,
seeing all redness. It's not even just in the cheeks.
I'm loving that we're getting this right now.
You're welcome.
Yes. Okay, so
I tend to have that effect on bears.
Just
on bears, you just have that effect on bears.
like a red panda bear at the moment.
You're a panda bear. The red bear. Oh my goodness. Okay, so coming back. I'm so sorry here. Give me a second. Okay, coming back here to your channel here. Still hear you going in the background. Coming back here to your channel, though, you have so many different sections, categories here. Let me just share this with everybody so they can see what I'm looking at too. But when I'm back here looking at it, I'm seeing the Dear Baby Maybe, the LGBT ABCs. Those ones are really fun. What? You were gonna say something?
Did you mean to show that to?
Oh, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, so we got the Dear Baby Maybes, the LGBT ABCs, where it was like A is for asexual and B is for
Bears.
bear.
Oh, well.
B is for
well,
bears.
I think it was for bisexual. But
I believe it was. It was by fucking bear. Yeah, and so we just I don't know. It was a lot of fun, kind of going through those. What's the maybe list?
So the maybe list is now no longer in video form, but it started as a video series, and now it's the blog on my website where I write. It started as the video series where I basically just talk about controversial topics, things that people aren't sure how to feel about, maybes, if you will, and I tell you where I stand.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what my recent one. It started with like the conversation around whether or not trans women have male privilege. I think the most recent one was like whether or not cisgender is a slur. But I've done all kinds of topics. It's been an ongoing series for years now, so I've hit a lot of topics over those years, and now similar conversations happen in my other series, that is the video series Gender and Other Lies You've Been Living,
Right.
and the maybe list is written form on my website.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, so coming back here and oh, how about this? Do trans women have male privilege?
No.
And there you have it, guys. Welcome
And
to
that's
today's
the whole video.
welcome to my TED Talk.
Welcome to my TEDx talk.
Just the answer's no.
No.
And then I just stand there for 12 minutes,
Yes. You're just like, well, thank you, everybody. It was nice knowing you.
just walking across the stage.
Right. One of the when I ended up finding you, it was you had a makeup section, and that was one of the things you were doing, was going, hey, we're going to go ahead and do this. And then later on, I found you testing out makeup products that you were being sent. That my favorite one that I came across was the brows. You had like a brow colorer, something that came in, and it was what? Do you remember? Can I share it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the Urban Decay?
Yes.
Yeah, I have it right in front of me.
Okay. Well, yeah, I believe. Well, didn't I just have it there? I just had it. Give me 1 second here. I do have. Oh, it was in the makeup section. That's where I found it. So when I'm coming into here, oh, that was cool. It works. Yeah, the Feeling Eyebrows. No. Tinted Brow Gel. This is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I stopped actually caring about like beauty content, and then I got mail from Urban Decay. It's fuzzy. Do you have a big?
it's flat.
Number one feature on my face that I always get comments on are my brows, and so I've got slick day brow, big bush brow, and brow pencil. What is this? Brow blade? And I've never used a tinted gel. Cause why? But then they also sent a fur oil for pubic hair. Hair care for up top, down there, and everywhere in between. Well, I'm not gonna show you that. But I am gonna try the big bush brow. I've always kind of been curious what a tinted brow gel would do for me.
Oh, it didn't switch it over here.
I guess when my brows are this dark, there is no reason for a tinted gel. Now I see pigment when I do this. I'm gonna have to clean that up, but to like fill in basically like in here, rubbing it on the skin is actually helping that a little bit. And so let's clean that up. Do I need a tinted brow gel? No. Do I have one now? Yeah. Okay, I stopped actually caring about like beauty content, and then I got mail from
It's
Urban
just the
Decay.
fuzzy right here, and you're
It's
just
fuzzy.
it's fuzzy.
Do you have a big?
That's
Number one-
you have a big Urban Decay.
Oh, you have
she's
it.
got the
You
box.
have it.
She's got the box. Yes.
The box is right here.
Nice.
I watched this video over and over because this thing just cracked me. Wait, so what did it say on the inside?
That's so funny.
Look.
Oh, it says, "Do you have a big butt?"
In the video, you're like, "Do you have a big Urban Decay?"
Yay. I mean, this stuff is just—it's seriously funny.
It's entertaining for sure.
It's just so much fun to watch. And then on top of it, you have let me see. I'm seeing hair tutorials here. If they'll pull up here, looking for a new. Prefer a curly. I mean, you just have so many videos in here where you're helping people out. Makeup for lost. Okay, so what's the makeup for lost time about?
Yeah, so that's actually my YouTube series that also gets posted over on TikTok, where it's basically just tutorials for trans women and other people who feel like they need a few classes when it comes to learning about makeup. I've done a whole series going through like the basics of your makeup and going step by unpacking every step of the process. So you have like the makeup basics that exist over there. But then there's also just like get ready with me's where I do a full face so you can see how I put it all together. I just recorded this look actually earlier today. That will be posted on Thursday. And it's just a way to help people figure out what they're doing with their makeup. And it's also, I'm a person, I mean, I've been wearing makeup since the 4th grade. I grew up in theater. And I've built a pretty healthy and specific relationship to makeup.
Yeah.
And I've been really intentional about how I use makeup.
Yes.
And I have a really positive relationship with makeup that a lot of women, not just trans women, but a lot of women don't.
So on your channel here though, where here's one that really sticks out to me is dating. Dating. What?
Because so that folder Okay, I've been in a relationship for 2 years now, so
Okay.
most of that folder is also quite old. But it's also full of Grindr screenshots and bad dating app screenshots, and me just responding to things that people have said to me on dating apps.
Oh, yes.
Which is why I giggle when you pull up that folder.
Yes. Is this my dry January? I mean, yes, good for you, buddy. What are you thinking?
Yeah. No, the one you're.
The one my thing's on right now?
Good for you, buddy.
Good for you, buddy. This thing just says, I give good massages. Congrats, buddy. And I'm really good at the game where you have to guess how many something's in a jar.
Good for you.
Just saying.
That reaction. Thanks.
Oh my God. Dude.
Congratulations, buddy. Oh.
So have you had a hard time, though, in dating? Because, like, this is...
Has a trans woman had a hard time in dating? Are you kidding me?
I've talked to people that they're like, no, everything was fine the whole time. So I just...
Those people have really low standards. I'm sorry, that was aggressive. I mean, so the... You good?
I love it.
The interesting thing about dating for me, the relationships, I'm pointing because he's downstairs, but the relationship that I'm currently in is the longest relationship I've been in. It's the only long-term relationship I've had in my life.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about dating for me is my transition has been rather slow and gradual.
Okay.
So I started dating in like middle school when I thought I was a straight boy. But like in high school, I thought that I was a gay boy and I started dating men. And then by college, I was knowing and understanding myself to be non-binary.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't have that word at the time because I'm older than I look. And so kind of gradually over the span of like a decade, my transition very slowly moved through several different expressions and like genders. I like joke often when people like talk about something in my past, I'll be like, yeah, that was like 4 genders ago for me. So I was pretty consistently dating through all of that.
Yeah.
And I actually learned a lot being on those apps. I learned a lot about the ways that people respond to like every iteration of me and all of like the different expressions. I remember the first time I put a like femme presenting picture up on Grindr and had got an overwhelming response. Where usually it was like that kind of a picture would get far less attention.
Yes.
And I would kind of like butch up on there for attention.
Yes.
I remember the first time I like put up just a picture where I like felt cute and had my hair down and whatever.
Yeah.
And got like an onslaught of attention. And I was like, oh.
But then you run
shit
into
has
like a lot of
changed.
issues where it's like half the people there are just fetishizing you.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
No, it's
Literally,
gross.
So I would have filter questions, and my first question I would ask somebody is, "What's your most controversial opinion?" Because I just like to get it out from the get-go. And then I would have to ask people. I'd be like, "Have you ever been with a trans woman before?" And there wasn't necessarily a right answer to those questions.
Right.
But I wanted to see how they talk about trans women. I wanted to see what language they knew, like how they would talk about us,
Yeah.
how they would talk about me. Because if they're like, no, but I've always wanted to try one, I'm like, okay, well,
Yes.
like, I'm not a dirt bike,
It's-
so that's not how this works.
Vroom, vroom.
I'm not a dirt.
No
I mean,
boom.
but for real though, it's a real thing that a lot of people run into issues with. I've had it where people, they. You know, the saying that really bugs me, I get the best of both worlds, you get boobs and a dick, and people are just happy. And it's gross to I don't know, be, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like you're just made into a thing.
Objectify.
Yeah. And I mean, it's gross. I don't know.
And let's be be honest, with me, you're not getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the worst of both worlds. I'm a theater major with incredible trauma. That's the worst of both worlds.
I mean, can you be a theater major without trauma?
You make a valid point. Okay, a theater major with ADHD.
I mean, meant to be fair.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I don't consider myself to be the best of both worlds.
I don't think
there
I've
are
met a
both
theater
worlds,
major
but-
that isn't neurodivergent.
Okay, I see your point. I was trying to be self-deprecating in a funny way.
Oh, you can go to Grinder for that. So,
Oh,
No self-deprecation, babe.
oh, it doesn't
They
mean
do
I
it
can't
for
do it to
you.
myself there. Poor lonely, miserable person looking for me. I don't know.
To answer your question, though, yeah, dating was awful for me.
It is.
One of the reasons I left New York City was to have a better dating life. Because
Has it been better leaving?
I mean, I met my boyfriend.
I mean, fair. But
I kind of fucking won. It worked.
I won't argue that. I would also say though, like you would think, what's the saying in New York? There's plenty of fish in the sea, whatever. I mean, you're in a city of millions of people, right? So
And that's the thing. They're always looking for the next one.
ooh,
I never felt like anybody I was seeing was done looking.
that's interesting. I went to New York twice, but I've not stayed in New York, and so like I wouldn't have. I didn't know about that in the culture. So I mean, that's interesting though. That it would be like that.
It's also, and then it's also like as a trans woman, I'm like, well, is that true of New York or is that true of me? That like, if I would get ghosted by a guy, I would be like, well, is he just like ghosting me for the typical reasons, or did he find a cis girl who is just as cool as me and has everything else? You know, like I never know the reasons, and nobody ever does in dating. You know,
So-
like a lot of these things happen.
Is it better to be seen as a cis woman or a trans woman?
Politically or emotionally?
No, I mean, who cares about the politics? Right now, it's like if there's a trans, I mean, because we do have trans people listening to this, right? And one of the things that we want to bring into this show is we're not the only people that go through the different struggles and experiences that we do, and so we want to. I don't know what am I looking for here, Bear. We just want to like help and offer information for other people because people like you and me have been through a lot of things, and so we have that experience that we can share to help other people that are going through situations to go either, hey, I'm not alone, or B, that there's information of how to walk through these situations.
Yeah, to answer your question, I'll say I've never wanted to be a cis woman. That's not of interest to me. And
You're just happy to be you.
the only way to know me and to love me is to know and love me as a trans woman. I don't think that it's better to be perceived as cis. I'm speaking for myself personally.
I was going to say, is that like in general or in your life?
Yeah. In my life, I'm speaking for myself personally because
Right.
I know other people have different relationships to gender and themselves. For myself personally, it is not on my mind to try to be perceived as a cis woman.
Yeah.
I know that it happens sometimes, but I also know that that's a fragile thing that's not necessarily consistent or
It's hard to achieve
expected.
or
and
in some
so
ways almost impossible.
If I am assumed to be cis, sometimes the realization that I'm not is worse than if somebody just knew I was trans from the get-go. I've had like the like movies moment talking about like dating and things. I've had the like jump scare movie moment of literally taking off my pants and somebody realizing that I had something that they weren't expecting.
Yes.
Um,
Can we talk about that for a second? Because
Yeah.
I mean, not that we want. Let's talk about the thing. No, what I mean though is like, let's talk about it. No, but I mean, this is a topic that comes up on the internet a lot. Of at what point do you tell somebody you're trans? Do you tell them when you first like? Is it supposed to be in your dating profile? Hey, I'm trans, or do we wait until we're talking and the conversation goes, then we bring it up, or do we wait till we're on the date and then bring it up, or do we wait until we're in the bedroom and then bring it up? You know, like where is it the right place to do it? Because a lot of guys feel like, well, if you don't put it on the profile, you're lying to everybody. You know, and that's like a common thing that's held around. But then the opposite side says, well, it's not my job to tell you what's in my pants. Like, you shouldn't care about that until we go to the bedroom. So where do you sit on that?
Also, to be clear, telling somebody you're trans doesn't tell them what's in your pants.
You don't
We
think
don't
so?
actually- Baby, there's surgeries.
There are. Okay, but I mean, but this
Not every trans woman has the same equipment down there.
true.
Telling somebody you're trans actually doesn't. And if anything, when people know that I'm trans on those apps, I get asked what it is.
But you don't
For
find that
me,
to
it's
be
always
bad?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I don't meet those people. So for me, it's always been on my profiles.
Yeah.
I did once make a TikTok about it again earlier in my transition.
Right.
When I was much more like non-conforming. I went on my first Hinge date and I realized on my way there that I had never mentioned that I was trans in my bio.
Yeah.
But at that point, like, that meant I'd be perceived as a gay man. And so on that date, I just tried to like work it into conversation as much as possible, just so like they'd realize I was non-binary. And he was really cool about it and seemed to know a lot of terminology. And I was like really lucky with that situation. And then later on that date, we were walking through Central Park and we sat down on a bench and he was like, "Can I tell you something?" And I was like, "Oh no." And he looked at me and he was like, "I'm a trans man." And he didn't have it on his profile.
This but this is literally what happened with me and Bear. this is literally what happened with me and Bear. Okay, I went to karaoke. Yeah, went to karaoke at this place, and I go sing this song. We finished the song, and here's the thing: you may not know. Okay, Bear loves and lives for karaoke. Okay, he's like, this is Bear's thing. Music is his thing. Okay, so he's there all the time singing karaoke, and this is my first time at the bar. I had just moved to Portland. I didn't know anybody, you know, and so I show up at this place. I go sing a song, and Bear is just so good at complimenting everybody in their singing and their music. And
I'm the hype
like,
guy.
you are, you really
the
are.
hype guy.
You're really good at it, you
we
know.
can't just clap. No, you know.
He does.
It's
He
it's a
does.
big
Like
deal
Bear
to
will
me.
just stand up and he's just like, yeah, woo, you know, and he's just really into it. And like, if you don't know Bear, like, it makes you feel so fucking good. And if you're worried about singing a song like it's something new, or you're nervous about a place, anything like that, like, he just makes you feel so comfortable so fast, right? And I sang this song. I was nervous, and he stands up and just, whoa, and he's just going at it. And I feel so good. And I go back to sit at the bar, and Bear goes, "Hey, you don't need to." It's like, first off, you sang so good, but on top of it, you don't need to be by yourself. Here's my table over here. Why don't you come sit with us? And so we go down. I'm sitting with him, you know, and we're just kind of having a casual conversation. And I flip open my phone, and I'm going through maybe the art gallery on my phone, or
It was just like the beginning of your Facebook profile.
Maybe.
How about
I don't
English?
think I had a.
And you had your Facebook up, and I happened to see a particular Facebook group that you were a part of.
Yes,
And then it clicked, and I'm like, oh, what? Well, maybe she's just an ally.
because
And
it was a trans
so
thing.
I had to ask, you know, and she got so scared. She got so scared, and because I was just like, "Hey, are you
you trans?"
You know, and she goes, Yes.
Is
Oh my
this
God,
a
is that
problem?
okay?
Yeah.
And then she got all
Like-
scared, and I'm like, oh, no. And I'm trying to grab her hands because she's freaking out. And I grabbed her hands, like, it's okay. It's okay. Hold on. I am too. It's okay.
And it just blew it. Like neither of us saw it coming. Yeah. So I mean, same kind of deal like that. Like,
I love that.
yeah. Okay. So I'll go ahead and throw out that there's going to be a wide range of feelings about where do you put where do you let people know you're trans or not, right? And maybe it's not the same for everybody. I personally will not put it on my profile. I don't want anybody to know, but in life in general, even around here, even I don't tell anybody I'm trans. I don't want anybody to know, right? This really is the only place where we bring out stuff like like this, you know?
Yeah.
So I in a lot of places, and in a lot of places, especially in more conservative places, if you don't tell somebody you're trans and you show up at the first date, or you wait till you're in the bed, whatever, and they find out there, it can. I just want to put out that it can put a lot of people in some serious danger. Yeah.
And that's where it's unique for everyone. Like I'm saying, it's always on my profile.
Right.
You can also Google me and you learn that I'm trans like immediately.
Yes. Yeah.
All of my work centers it. It's not hard. There was once a time where if you Googled trans actor, Laverne Cox would show up and I would be the next search result. Like it's like
Wow.
I'm very visibly trans.
Right.
So it's gonna come up. That's a personal choice, but also I'm aware of how I look. I'm aware of how I sound. I like know that I'm not being assumed to be cis often.
Right.
And so disclosure is not ever really a question or a choice for me. I just operate as if everybody assumes.
Yeah.
And that's largely because of my physical form, and I understand and I know that I'm being read as a trans woman most of the time.
Right.
And also, I told you, it's like part of my filter questions on those, like, it is just built into who I am. The thing that I say for other people is that everybody's going to make their own choices around those things because depending on who you are, how you look, like to your point, where you are, and all of those
What
things.
your identity is.
Yeah, your choice is going to be different in all of those situations.
Right.
I'll say when I was non-conforming and I was like sleeping with gay men, it wasn't on my grinder all the time because I was like, well, I don't want to like teach a trans 101 with a dick in my mouth. So like, I'm just going to like not tell you that. And we're not gonna, sorry, I don't know if that's okay to say on your podcast.
Whatever you like.
We are not judging.
No.
So in like that case, I would like not, but I was also like misgendering myself to do those hookups where for me, it's just like, you're going to know, you might as well know from the get-go. And it's actually a way that I filter.
How people
my
will
best friend in
react.
college. I lived with my best friend in college and she used to talk about me on first dates.
Yeah.
And talk about, because I was using they, them pronouns at the time. And she was like, you're a great bigot filter. And she was like, because she was like a straight white girl dating men in New York City. And she was like talking about my non-binary friend and seeing how the guy reacts is actually a great filter.
Yes.
And so I've learned that I'm just my own bigot filter. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to be loud and proud from day one. And then it's not wasting my time on somebody who's going to not be cool with it. But for other people, for the reasons you named, like all of the reasons, it's not what everybody wants to be doing and naming themselves as. It's not the most important part of everybody's lives. And what I like to say is that whatever choice you make is the right choice for you. And that
also bring in some caution though into it just to make sure you're safe.
Right. Everybody's navigating their own sense of safety and their own relationship to that. And like, there's plenty of things that I do as a woman, not even just a trans woman, to ensure and to prioritize safety on those dates, including like letting somebody know where you are, not getting in his car, like all of these things. And I'm saying his because I primarily date men. But yeah, everybody's making the decisions for themselves. And also, you can learn from a situation and change your mind and change how you go about it. You can interact with different people differently. Like there's so much nuance to the situation that really gets whittled down when that conversation comes up on the internet. And usually I'm just like, is this just like 14-year-olds in the comments who haven't actually had to do any of this, having these conversations?
I find 14-year-olds tend to be better at it than anybody else.
Right. Like there are younger generations that don't even need this disclosure probably.
Right.
But it's an individual choice, and again, the choice that you make is the right choice for you.
Can we also, one of the questions that trans people get asked a lot is, you're trans, you went from male to female, or however, masc to femme, however you want to classify it. Are you gay? If you are into men, are you gay?
No, but my boyfriend is.
Explain that.
He's pansexual, but in the way that like gay is an umbrella term, and a lot of people use gay even if it's not like they're only attracted to one or their own gender. We joke because he's pretty queer. We're both very queer.
Right.
I refer to myself as heteroflexible because I primarily date men, but it's not exclusively.
Right.
And Bear, I see your sigh.
I get so
because
excited.
What?
No, I got excited because I've said that too. Like I'm like 90% women, but every now and then, some people fit the bill. And so I say heteroflexible too, but I've never heard someone else say that. So I got all excited.
It's funny because I've only really seen cis men who are into trans women use that label. And so I like kind of ironically started using it for myself. But then I was like, oh wait, no, this actually just like is true. Cause yeah, like it's really built because I've dated non-binary people. Like there's like a wider spectrum of gender out there. But also, like, I'm pretty straight, but when a lesbian compliments me, it does something to me.
Okay, but just to
I know I sound like a problematic white girl in college, but like
no, I'm
right once.
I mean, yes, the thing is if you have like we're gonna say, but I hate these terms, but we're just going to use it for now, okay? Caveat or whatever, disclosure, don't judge me here for the point of this thing. Person's born male, transitions, wants to be, or see, they're a trans woman, okay? They've just made, we're going to go with the binary system for the purpose of this, okay? So now they're trans woman, there's a man, they decide to go date him. Are they gay?
Is it a woman attracted to a man gay? No.
See? That is the answer. I just wanted... But a lot of people don't understand this, and it's a question that a lot of trans people get asked. Oh, well, does that make you gay if you're into men now?
Oh, yeah, I know. And that's why I joke that my boyfriend is gay, because that is, like, what people think.
Right.
But it's also, like...
I really like it.
That's also where... This is, like, my sex educator hat going on, but, like... What people are attracted to is, again, more nuanced and complex than we make it out to be often. And different people are attracted to gender, sex, some other category completely, or a combination of those things.
Right.
Like, a lot of people are attracted to people who make them laugh.
Yes. I like
and
smiles.
And we don't have like a funny sexual, like there's like not words to describe that outside of gender, but often
I find smiles to be sexy.
Yeah, that's like there's so much more to it than just gender.
Yes.
But also within gender, I've responded on TikTok a couple of times whenever I see something about like cisgender straight men who are not attracted to vaginas and like think vaginas are like gross and have like all this commentary about vaginas. And I'm like, and y'all don't understand that they could be attracted to trans women?
Right.
Like, some people aren't attracted to gender and sex and like all of the package of what you expect in cis heteronormativity. There are people who are solely attracted to certain genitals. Like my ex was only interested in having sex with people with penises and didn't care about really what that penis was attached to in terms of expression.
Yes. I know a lot of lesbians that they go, okay, well you're a trans woman, I'm female, cis female, and so this makes us lesbian, but also I don't want to date you because I don't care for the hardware. So I mean, yeah.
Right. There's a wider range of what people are looking for, and the work that I try to do is just breaking down that like woman doesn't always come with vagina, like
thank you,
man
Mirka.
doesn't always come with penis. And the more that we can like acknowledge that, then we can add more nuance. I often say that like we have to do to sexual orientation what we've done to the conversation around gender.
Yes.
Because we really haven't explored and expanded that enough.
We've just said be okay with it, but we haven't like went about it.
Yeah, like these labels like gay, straight, and all of that are useful and helpful, but I know gay men who mean penis, and I know gay men who mean men.
Mask.
Where like one of those would date trans feminine people, and one of those would date trans men.
Yes.
And there's also a Venn diagram within there, like there's so much more nuance than these like neat categories we try to put us in.
Right. Outside the binary, especially.
And then there's like pansexual people like my boyfriend,
Yeah. Can we go over just some quick maybe do's and don'ts of like if somebody wants to go date a trans person? I don't know, maybe what is okay to do, what is not okay to do, what can you say and not say? Because this is another conversation people don't have is trans people have a lot of different mixed feelings and some intense feelings about their body. And so maybe, some of like, what do we call parts? What do we not? How do we discuss that? Or should we? Different things like that. I think there's some training that needs to happen around that, but also just dating do's and don'ts.
Yeah, do pay. Well, the wage gap gets wider when you're trans. Joking, but in reality, in terms of like a date, not looking at the bedroom, not looking at sex, just like dating.
Yeah.
Advice that I give is don't ask a trans woman anything you wouldn't ask a cis woman.
That's great advice. That's great advice.
If you're focusing on the thing that makes the person different, don't. And that's where I was talking earlier that like a lot of marginalized identities are very similar in these conversations. Like if you're going out with a disabled man, let's not talk about his disability all night. There's more to him.
Yes.
There's more to us than what makes us different from you. If the person brings it up, like if I talk about gender because it's my freaking career and I'm constantly talking about gender, then yeah, we can talk about it.
Or ask. Just ask. Is it okay if we talk about this?
Right. And that's where it's also going to come differently from different people. Like, my boyfriend and I are both trans. We talked about a lot on a first date that I probably wouldn't have felt comfortable talking to a cis man about. I'm also more likely to be more comfortable talking about it with like bi and queer men than I am with cis het men,
Yes.
How close you are within community is also going to determine that. And also, yeah, just like letting the person kind of lead the conversation, where the first question should be like, are you comfortable talking about this? You know, like,
Yes.
would you want to talk about this? And giving the person the option to say no and turn that down. It also depends, like, how early on that date are we bringing it up? You know, like, do we sit down at the table and it's like, so when did you know? No, that's aggressive. That I've been on dates where I feel like I'm doing an interview like this.
Yes.
So making sure you're also getting to know the person, yeah, that's a part of the person, right? Like all of that is integral to who I am. But letting us lead that part of the conversation, letting us decide what we want to tell you, and checking in around consent around whether or not we talk about that.
Can that change through the
Also,
conversation?
Yeah, consent is always an active thing that can shift. I was gonna say, like, if we're talking about it, let's get off the topic at some point. You know, like, let's talk about something else too. Because also, if you ask me like a question like, when did I know or something, I'm gonna ask you when you knew you were a man. And then I'm gonna eat my nachos and watch you struggle.
5th grade.
Oh, different for you, Bear.
I don't count.
That was part like us as man, but yeah, the do's are treat us like people, not like our identities. And the don'ts are focusing on that identity and using us for information.
Yeah.
When it gets to the bedroom, yeah, there are conversations to be had. But I also, again, I think gender affirming practices benefit everyone. I think we should all be having those conversations. In the book that Bear loved the title of, I Love Orgasms, we talk about and introduce the concept of giving people a body tour and just going with your partner and either literally guiding their hand around and through your body and being like, I like to be touched here. I don't like to be touched here. If you're going to touch me here, you need to work up here, here, here first.
I really like that.
Like whatever that might be. And showing people how you like your body to be touched.
What do you like it to be called?
Come along, and then, yeah, that also can come along with names of it. I tell a story in a show that I've done about my love and sex life with the first trans guy I was ever with. He took my hand and put it down his pants, and he said, I call that my dick. What do you call yours? And it changed my life.
Yeah.
Because I had thought to call it other things. Like, I had never thought to do that in a situation.
Yeah.
And it was the easiest way to just be like, oh, here, let me introduce you to.
I really like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on a date before where everything's going okay, and at some point it starts to get to that physical point, and they just turn around and make the comment of, you know, I really want to make you happy, and I'm really enjoying where this is going, but also I can't wrap my head around that you got a dick in your pants. It changes the vibe of everything, like knowing what to call people, like what to call different parts and how you like, you know, some people will say, oh, I want it to be called a vagina. Some people say, oh, well, this is a clit. Some people will say this is a put, or they, you know, it just, everything's got a different name. And some of them, you know, just the entire groin area is going to be one term. You know, everything may not have different terms. So like, there's just a lot of different ways that can go. And I think having that conversation about how do we approach this in a cautious and respectful manner is the best way to come about that. But I mean, that also goes to cis people too.
Right. It's all consent focused too. I mean, for cisgender people too, like, I know a lot of cis women who don't like the term pussy.
Yes.
And don't want to hear their partners saying it.
Yes.
And like, I know cis men who would prefer you say like cock instead of dick. Like, there's always situations like this. And so it's similar to the conversation around names and pronouns, just like making sure like everybody gets the most affirming language. Because if what you're trying to do is turn your partner on, you want to make sure you're doing it right.
I mean, that seems like the best way to go. Yeah. I don't know. I
mean,
really.
there can be an element of surprise and things. There can be like
Surprise!
new
Surprise!
opportunities. But in terms of like what we're calling each other and or each other's bodies and things like that should not be part of that element of surprise. Yeah, if I ever hear the word boy pussy again in my life, I will throw myself out of a closed window.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
You're just blushing again. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'm just gonna go full tomato. Like, fuck it. I identify as a tomato.
Identify as a what?
I identify as a tomato.
Beefsteak.
Bearmado.
A bearmado. That sounds like a tornado, though.
Or a bear-tato.
Nice.
My brain operates like a potato.
Bear-tato. That's like almost sexy. Like, it depends on like what accent you say it with. It's a bear-tato. Bertato. Huh?
Bear-taters.
It's around my bertato.
Bertato.
I love everything that just happened. Bertato.
Hey, Bertato.
Bertato.
Sorry,
I
my
love
full
it.
Italian came out.
I shouldn't like that, but I do.
And now we found where Bear goes.
You're welcome.
I love you. So much of what you've done in here is like every day between me and Bear.
Oh, it is not boring. It is. No. There's no stagnant time. There's always a something. We've decided to make this a two-parter. We have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. We want to keep the conversation going, and so tune in for part 2.